Hey, hey, hey. Good evening. It is June 19th, 2019, a little after midnight. This is Steve Guy. Wanted to to recap. I haven't been putting up content the last few days or tracking, so I wanted to catch everybody up on how I've been doing and what's been going on. Um Start from the beginning. So I was on vacation the week before last, and through that I did the TradeNet challenge, which was hosted by TradeNet, and I made it until day one. I was up around $4,000, and then slowly began losing that amount, and then ramped up my speed of losing it along the way. Um, so what had occurred is, as time got shorter and the leaderboards were cranking up, I found myself being a little bit more risky. And like I say, the title of this is Week 10. This is my 10th week of trading, basically all day. I'm not a day trader. I do have a full-time job that allows me to trade during the day, and you will see those streams. I do live stream them from time to time. Might get a little bit more consistent at that, um, but yeah. So it does allow me to trade. Um, so I've quite a few things. So let's just kind of review the account. Let's see. One day I made 270, or like 116, something like that. The next day I lost 270. The day after that I made 40, made 80, made 60, lost 215. So not very consistent. Um, Now for this week, 6/19th, I have I won't say changed up. I'm still trying to find myself, but I'm doing a lot better in narrowing down and understanding quite a few things. And one is kind of what I'm showing on the screen here: price action trading, um, and that's simply trading by price action, exactly what it sounds like: price action and structure. And I'm going to be putting in links to all of the YouTube folks and anyone else that I've been learning from. Um, I feel that these content creators are good, and I would advise you, anybody watching, to head on over and view their content. There's a few off the top of my head. The trading fraternity on YouTube, A plus. They specialize in options. James Mason off of Facebook and YouTube. James Mason has I think it's like a 40-hour course on trading. Um, that's on YouTube, and an excellent Facebook group. Um, there are several Discord channels that I belong to that I've been kind of learning from and gathering information from. And I'm going to start bringing those directly to you guys, as far as I'll be highlighting what they teach, and then not taking their content, but kind of giving outlines of what they teach, and then providing contact information for those groups, so that you can go to groups that I trust, and that aren't necessarily there to try to sell you everything. Um, there are lots of gurus and things on YouTube, Facebook, Discord, everywhere in the world, Twitter, that do just simply want to sell you things, and that's fine, but there are also a lot of free alternatives to get up and running. So I'm going to start producing a bunch of videos on those folks, doing reviews, things like that on them. To just not to grade them or anything like that, but just to bring forth content creators that are teaching information that I find useful, and that you may as well. With that, I'll take a quick show here. We still have our Fred 100 shares that is just bleeding out, slow bleed. But as you see, I'm carrying some snap options that I picked up. I picked up one that not today, but yesterday. Ended up clearing 78.50. I bought another. Or was that from today? Basically, I bought a total of 6. I still got 6, and I had went ahead and sold 3 others. And then yesterday I had a Disney option that cleared about $100. So yesterday I made $130 between options and my TradeNet account, which I'll go into the TradeNet account information here in a few minutes. And then around 30 of that was with TradeNet. The others was on my TD Ameritrade account. And then today, as you can see, I made 107, 108, I guess if you minus that there. So hey, that's fantastic. 2 days in a row, I've made $100, roughly, at least in this account. Yeah, so I'm very pleased with that. Now, as far as TradeNet goes, TradeNet, I find that I'm having trouble there. And with that intro package, the intro package cost me $350. Basically, you're allowed to lose $700. You are funded up to $14,000. But if your risk management is based around $700, then the amount that you're able to trade is actually fairly low, and it causes your returns to be low, and so my winners aren't really gaining much, and when I do gain is going into fees because I'm not letting them ride long enough because I'm worried about losing, and then yada yada yada. So I'm struggling there. I'm at a roughly 13,570-ish available. So basically, if that gets down to 13,300, then the account is lost. And I obviously don't want to do that. So going to have to tighten that up and get some good gains there. But yeah, so a couple of things. Like I said, I'm getting into this. I don't know if it's strategy or technique. I guess it's more of technique than anything. But price action trading, which is the candles you see here on the screen. I mean, it's basically what it sounds like. I mean, you're trading based on what you see here, and then you combine that with building out structure, and between the two, it helps you to more. For me, it's helping me more accurately project where price is going, and then therefore being able to trade based off of that. Now today I did on the TradeNet account. I bought into BABA and I think I ended up making around $58 in it. So it was a good run. Now. To be transparent, be fair, I got in. Let's see, I got in. I believe at 166. I got in around here. After I got a little confirmation that this had now turned into support, and then it tanked, and I was extremely worried that it was going to go down. BABA has been struggling for a while with the China tariffs. We got down here and began to creep back up, and then this burst, and I think I sold probably somewhere in this pullback here. Like I said, made around $60 and I was happy. Ended up finishing the day about $6 to $7 in the green, which probably got ate up in commissions, so basically ended the day flat over there. So I'll be addressing that soon. Okay, so let's see. As far as everything else, and now I removed those because the set that I'm using now on this main screen is my VWAP set, and I've actually picked up another strategy that I'm using, which is fantastic. And like I say, it's called gap control here. And all it really does, yes, now we got really messy, and that's what I was kind of not wanting to have to blast you guys with. But basically, gap control just puts a box down here to show how much gap is remaining. It actually has a percentage, and let's see if I can go back into on demand, and you can see here. Well, here for today it says I have a 55.1613 gap remaining. Now, as it eats through the gap, it does update, so it'll go down to 0 here, right? And it's actually very helpful. And the gap obviously is the day before's close and then the today's open. That is the total gap between here. That's when you hear like gap up, right? So this is a gap up. It gapped up from yesterday, which is this here. And you know, if I play through, I was doing some back testing here, but if you play through, I don't know if Baba will or not, but hey, we can take a look here. With all these resources being consumed, this is definitely going to be slow. But typically the price action is attracted like a magnet down here. It is better at the beginning of the trading session as far as they generally will go after to close the gap, to fill the gap at the beginning, but I've witnessed where they do it at any point throughout the session. I've also got a custom column called RVOL, which is relative volume. So it's a volume based on I think it's like the past 50 days, and it's kind of like an average volume over norm, right? So a high volume stock or high volume HTZ is receiving approximately 2.31% higher volume than typical over the last 50 days. I believe that's how it computes. But like I said, I'm going to be going over. It looks like Thinkorswim has crashed, which is fantastic. It has been doing that for the past week or so since the last update. It does tend to crash. So yeah, so that seems like a good time to go ahead and clip this. I will show this very briefly. Let's see here. And I'll show one moment. And I think this will be okay. So this is the black box interface, and I'm on a trial, and I've just kind of got joined with it yesterday, and I'm kind of just poking around through there tonight, kind of see how it works well for tomorrow. But I may do a review of this and go ahead and record it. And at least that way I can put that up on the channel. Maybe it's, well, I won't say maybe, but for the last 2 days, and if you go back and recall, I had the Disney and the Snapchat options that have done extremely well, and I know 100% the Snapchat I got from the folks here at Blackbox, but the Disney, I can't quite recall. I think I may have had the Disney before them, but I may not have. And so both of those may have come through this application. So I'm pretty hopeful that this is going to be something that's very interesting, and I may end up subscribing to. And if that's the case, then I'll be able to utilize this and bring you guys information on it. And yeah, we can look through that together. And yeah, so with that being said, I'll go ahead and kill it for this video. Definitely look forward to, I'm going to be producing, I think I'm going to produce some training material. Like I say, not that I'm an expert. I am definitely not an expert, but I can show how I've been using indicators and price action and the structure and just overall market, generic market information that I can share with you guys that may help you along in your journey, speed up your learn time, because there definitely are some things that I have learned that should have had somebody tell me, would have maybe sped up my my learning curve by maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe I'll be a little bit farther ahead. But yeah, well, I appreciate everybody that is watching this video and following along. And like I said, I'll be posting and doing some reviews of other traders and teachers and that might help you guys get farther along as well. All right, well, you guys have a good night, and we will speak again soon.